videos and give it a thumbs up. This is Hamza TV Gambia.
From basic education all the way to secondary education. And we want to look at where we can help. Often they say free education, but then the school comes back and say, but you need to buy uniform, but you need to buy books, but you need to buy chairs, you need to buy tables. So investment in education, skills, training for our children, the future generation, and the present generation of youth, we have to make sure that we provide them with all the necessary requirements for them to grow as leaders in this country. These are, we have quite a lot of areas that we want to do, which includes coaching, mentoring, training. We want our youths to go into youth service schemes, National Youth Service Scheme. Every child, we will make sure that once they finish, that they are able to go and work, do some community work, or whatever it is, but at least help to teach them to be more patriotic towards their country. So we will look at the production and the value chain infrastructure. A digital government, but to do that you need to have proper energy. The cost of internet services here is extremely high. There seems to be no control on the cost of internet for phones or anything. So we want to also regulate that, but make sure that we have that, because we want to focus on e-governance to avoid pilferages and to avoid corruption. And who is going to benefit from this? I think every Gambian will benefit directly or indirectly. We will definitely make special emphasis on the youths, the young women and girls, and the nursing and lactating mothers. The information needed is on the website on how we are going to do it. I've given you some examples. We are working on the action plan for this, how we are going to do it, who is going to lead and by when. It's not ready, but we already have the manifesto ready. We need every Gambian to come on board and help us unite this country. The social fabric of this country has completely collapsed. Our culture is moving at another level, but we know that our culture is not static. So it will evolve. But I think we need to also bring the younger generation and the older generation to look at how we can modernize some of our cultures and still maintain them, because that is the identification that that we have as Gambians in here. To how can we come together and help get Gambians out of poverty. Now coming on the manifesto, we have about, as I mentioned, about 20 sector policies ranging from foreign affairs and diplomacy to devolution of powers and decentralization, infrastructure, sports, gender and women, urban planning development, natural resources and the environment, tourism and culture, security, amongst others. In the interest of time, I don't want to go into detail because we want people to get out of here on time to go to the mosques. But skills development and training will be really the emphasis on everything, because we have to help people go out of this current mindset of always fighting, always on the defensive, and we help our youths to become more patriotic ambassadors of this country. So we have the zoning of the regions and support to the informal sector to create entrepreneurs from as early as kindergarten, as I mentioned. So these are the areas. I invite you to visit our website where all the information that is needed on the manifesto you will find there. And as Mr. Jammeh will come, he will explain the website and all the information that people want to ask. Thank you very much.
the manifesto and all of the 17 areas that are covered, as well as the 5-point agenda. All of these you can find on the website. This website goes to show you that the United Democratic Party believes in transparency, open government, access to information, and we're showing you an example of that commitment now. E-government isn't going to be just mere talk for the UDP government. You heard Mrs. Oliver talk about e-government. I know many of you have experienced going to government departments to fill out applications, and you are told they don't have forms and they're being sent back. And with the hectic traffic we have, the time that it takes to go from one place to the other, all of these things will be eased if you're able to simply download forms, put applications online, get information about our laws. So these are things that a UDP government will do. But as the previous speakers mentioned, it took at least 2 years of hard work to come up with the manifesto and this 5-point agenda. And a lot of people were involved, experts. Some of them are not affiliated with the party, some are close allies, some are members. And a few of them are here, some others are not able to make it, but I can point some. For the website, Karim Diba in the US played a crucial role in designing the website. Before I get into the stuff, this gives credit to the people. We are in the forefront, but we have a lot of help from people who simply volunteer. They use their time, their resources to make this right. And through the website, you learn the history of the party, what the party stands for, and current and upcoming events. You'll also be able to go to a section and see the party leadership from the National Executive, members of the National Assembly, all of our, you'd also get to learn you'd also know which chapters we have, and the wings, youth wing, women's wing, etc. Also plan to set up subdomains. That way, the Atlanta chapter will have atl.udp.gm, and UK will have uk.udp.gm. The party executive is doing. So you get to know a whole lot about the party and its members. Let's go to the manifesto. Roll the thing down, all the way to the manifesto, please. So all the way. Go ahead. Okay. Good. Okay. So the manifesto, you can download the PDF version of the manifesto here, and it includes 17 areas. As we mentioned, the 5 priority areas are the priorities for the first 100 days of a UDP government. But we have other concerns that are addressed as well, and in very great detail. Environmental protection affordable costs. These telecom companies are also not contributing, they're not doing a whole lot in terms of their social, corporate social responsibilities. Government has to step in to ensure that we have a better environment there. Pura is key in that. So, unlike other parties that took a very short period to install or to establish their websites, we took time, we deliberated, we made sure we have information that we can hold on to. We made sure we have promises that we're able to keep, and that's what the website reflects. So you can go to udp.gm. You can also contribute in case you want to donate to the party in a very transparent manner. You can simply go click donate. I think that's a very important element, especially for those in the in the diaspora. Please, home, click, you pull down, okay. Go on to chapters, the chapters. Click on chapters, please. If it's slow, that goes to underscore the point about our internet service here. So don't worry, we have a listing of the various chapters in the diaspora. We have a listing of the various wings, and they will be given some autonomy to be able to post localized information. And you would also have a means of reaching party leadership, sending us your concerns and matters that should be addressed. Simply note the website, the domain address, udp.gm. Visit it, address any concerns to us, suggest any improvements. We are open to suggestions, and we'll make sure we keep it as a dynamic site. But thank you so much, and we hope the website will be very useful to you. And download the information, because we can't print the 50-page manifesto. The manifesto, 5-point agenda, who's who in the UDP, history of the party, upcoming events. You can find all of that at udp.gm. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jammeh, for that illuminating presentation. So we have learned from him over the years that leadership is about a temperament. He has a first-class temperament. He has an even manner of speaking. But here is a man who, through the ages, has stood for truth, has stood for justice, has stood for democracy, so that this country will move in the right direction. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and my proud honor to call on the next President of the Republic of the Gambia to officially launch the UDP Manifesto and 5 points. I will say
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I watched my brother and friend Larry when he came to the podium with his gadget, and also watched my niece, Uli Dibawada, also come here with her gadget. Those shows some modernity, but I come here with my papers. Talking about technology, so I want to make sure that before we come into our e-government, I am also well trained in this area, so that I will not be left. Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, UDP National Executive members, UDP Keba Kafo members, the Lord Mayor of Kanwi Municipal Council, and the Deputy Mayor and representative of the Mayoress of the city of Banjul, chairpersons of local government authorities, the majority leader and members of the National Assembly are present, councillors, the media fraternity, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning. I hope we're still in the morning. Yes. And welcome to the official launch of the United Democratic Party 2021 Manifesto, its 5-point agenda, and official website. Monday, 23rd August 2021 marked the 25th anniversary of the founding of the United Democratic Party. Advisedly, we choose today's occasion for the unveiling of our manifesto for the presidential elections, which is less than 100 days from today. This is a significant milestone in the history of our great party. It is therefore fitting to share the UDP story with the younger generation and first-time voters in the hope that our story will inspire them to consider service to the Gambia, our homeland, as the greatest act of patriotism. One of the first actions of the military junta following the coup d'etat of July 22, 1994, was to suspend all political activities in the country. Effectively, the suspension silenced the PPP, the NCP, GPP, and DOI, all political parties of the First Republic. The suspension of political activities left the AFPRC as the lone actor in the political arena until in or about August 1996. In 1996, the ban on the suspension of political activities was lifted, but this was followed by the banning of leaders of the First Republic politicians except DOI. And except DOI, the then existing political parties were all proscribed. The banned politicians and their proscribed parties were perceived to be the greatest threats to Jammeh's intended self-perpetuating rule. Negotiations for the formation of a new political party began in the middle of July 1996 and lasted for almost 6 weeks. The maiden meeting took place in the residence of Mr. Sidi Sanya of blessed memory. He later became the first senior administrative secretary of the party. This meeting was attended by representatives of the three parties, namely PPP, NCP, and GPP. And amongst those representatives, were Honorable Keba Tamba Jammeh, Mr. Sidi Sanya, Honorable Landinjalo Sane, Alaj Jobu Kante, Alaj Ansundin Keta, Honorable Member Tembedu, Mr. Femi Peters, and Alaj Ahmad Koro. The first meeting was on a Sunday and shrouded in great secrecy. This was despite the lifting of the ban on political activities, as it was still dangerous to openly show the soldiers turned politicians that there are people who were not prepared to toe their own lines. The maiden meeting led to a broad consensus for the creation of a strong political force to be composed of supporters of the three parties mentioned above. The resolution adopted at the maiden meeting to create a progressive democratic movement that all the three parties subscribed to was ratified by the executive members of the respective parties. That done, the way was clear for the next step, that is the identification of a leader of the party to be found. The search for a leader necessitated the drawing up of a list of potential candidates of 8 people. This list was debated and shortlisted down to 3. The first and second listed candidates declined to accept the proposal, and the choice now fell on the third listed, who was out of the country at the time. The rest, as he says, is history. But that third listed person was Muhammed himself. Today, I stand here before you, mixed feelings, humility and gratitude for the honor and trust the founding fathers, and shall I say, mothers of the UDP bestowed on me to lead our people, to lead a prosperous and democratic republic. But on the other hand, I am filled with sadness and regrets that most of the people, among them Hassan Musa Kamara, Charno Fofana, Alaide Botunkara, Aja Mama Gado Sise, Alain Ansumana Diba, Sam Silla, Yaya Diallo, my first deputy, Syria Sanya, Okuta Thomas, Christian Davis, Femi Peters, Alai Mustafa Juve, Sanayeye Bojang, Mas Job, Honorable Keba Tamba Jammeh, Alai Landin Jallo Sane, Alai Ibrahim Kesenjaye, Alai Landin Dado Jata, Moji Jallo, Alai Sa Aluseman Jak, Alai Karamotori, Aji Jambandin Drame, Aji Fat Seka Sekom, Aji Anta Samba, Aja Horoja Nur, Aja Sadio Kunjan Sane, Brahma Drame, Aja Manisar, Aja Kadimambure, Alai Karamo Fati, Alai Suntu Dabo, Aja Kunda Kamara, Yasalim Makalo, Suleiman Nar Sonko, Honorable Abu Karamba Kasama, Honorable Basamora, Honorable Babandi Dafe, Solo Sandem, Solo Kuruma, Lam Maron, Single Nyasi, Honorable Fakebas Koli, Alhaji M. Indur, Pakabasane, Ajanya Handao, Alhaji Ambasi, Jahir Susu, and Amadou Kule Seka, Kaula Manso, have not lived to see the silver jubilee of the mass movement they gave birth to 25 years ago. On this note, it gives me a great pleasure to officially launch the UDP manifesto, the UDP 5-point agenda, and the UDP website. I wish you all a happy anniversary. This 25th year will really show, this 25th year of UDP's existence will really show that in the next 6 months, in the next 6 years, actual transition will commence in this country. A transition that will be ushered in the constitution of constitution that was rejected by people who never believe in the values of democracy. I thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for those very stirring, very inspiring words. We keep our faith in the Gambian people, we keep our faith in Gambian women, we renew our faith in the youth of this country. We hear you loud and clear, Gambian lawyer Ba. We know your brothers are in heaven smiling down on you. Change will come to Gambia on 4th December 2020. I have the pleasure to invite the media to ask some questions before calling on Honorable Yakumba Jaite, one of the leading lights of the new generation of leaders of UDP, to give the vote of thanks for this occasion. Of the press, this is your opportunity to quiz us, to query any part of our 5-point agenda. Of course, you may not have specific direct questions, but generally, we are now ready to ask. We are now ready for you to ask your questions, and we will be very happy to reply to your questions. The media, second mic is. Yes, I think there is somebody on that side. Yeah. Please tell us the media you are coming from and your name, please.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I am Usman Serikan from Ghana Online News. Okay, I have 2 questions. The first one is on human rights and transformative reforms. Can you clearly articulate UDP's position on TRC's recommendation?
I will address specifically your first question. What one party calls tissue paper I believe we ought to wait and see what recommendations the TRRC makes.
Na angale kambalo ila wo chairmano muya longo nita tantella fatoto nita da bafuloto aniyo chairwoman ano funding kol milano ko jama ibele patioto e mankara wol be fanjela nyin kono nyaadi le kadu jama e ka fole karanal nata le kan kudeta woto o foyla chairmano le place koyko i dabi je le foy dati
ni lebitala kulo telega da bi fanam sini ni telefona bitala bango bekam kafo banku dingle UDP la lonka momenti adi UDP la lonka mekelamenti ngolle fo janto ba kan ibitale banda tele fondi tele ko bi mbato nyame ko bi ko te ana nyame kantora timo le bijeto dañu 5 point agenda ni iba fo kamo ni jeto kad molle tata molle ko timo ko no mel tata ni strategy committee ni na manifesto iba fo le evita même fo no le wona website ko ni ba même ko mayata 5 point agenda ni manifesto ni bi iba fo kanne wato wati jani bi be sila fanam ko ngani lo na ka ko ni bekala bi ni na kachal ko no nka fo moli même na 5 point agenda kombe nyini ni lekala yare kende abundana londo bundana banko la fanko bundana so ni mu ko ultimaro ka ko ni bela ba ko no adembe ko dine la fanam ka akmolo kiese ni andi modi be jakol ko soto dame ni karol ke ila jakalo ni msabo no nyoto bana manke ni ka ko ni da ko tele kan patio ni el modan tan de bidanto ado modan tan no maga ka ko be idea ni kuma ni ba awaf kan wala ma ni ko masandizo no maga ka ko ba awaf kan ba bela melma wala mu ni muske bal mela ko be sanya ibe kunju ibe felen ko do ibe karawan sambasira bawa fila wala adum bawa fila men kam nenda wala ikakal melfo mandika kam surwa kam fula kam jola kam serere kam anin anisra fula kam so ite tla koma ite dura la koma kali ko ni ko be tla koma o ton tela tro jata man nafaso ko no la ni la jarlo
jërëjëf secrétaire général li ci des mooy ajaratu Yakumba Jeete mu ñëw gërëm leen sant leen bu baax ci turi secrétaire général ak parti leader bi Alaaji Ousseynou Dabo ak exécutif am bi di jërëjëf di jaajëfal tamit suñu co-chairs yi Mrs Olidiba Wada ak Mr Larry Cissé ci liggéey bu rafet buñ fi def nga Jeete la kana UDP la ayoon léegi Honorable Yakumba Jeete, you have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tal. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Party Leader, Honorable Usainu Dabo, United Democratic Party executives, members of the Diplomatic Corps, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. I have the honor and privilege to give the vote. Today, we have the opportunity to present to you our agenda, our manifesto. We are doing this truthfully, no fake promises. We're doing this truthfully. I like the answer Almami gave to Mr. Fleck's question about the number of jobs we are going to create. We are not going to say 100,000 jobs. We are not going to say 200,000. We are not going to promise you a creation of a sovereign wealth fund. What we are going to do is going to be based on truth. It's going to be based on policy, law, and strategy. We are going to do this in all honesty, and we guarantee you transparency and accountability. And this is an example. I present to you, we're going to do this. I present to you our most trusted leader, Honorable Usainu Dabo. With everything they say, and I repeat and an emphasis added to this. With everything they say to him and the United Democratic Party, one thing you do not hear is Ousseynou Dabo is corrupt. And I think this is the most important thing. Because we have the integrity in the United Democratic Party, and because of this integrity, we are going to create bankable projects, and the diplomatic corps is here, and these projects will be sponsored. We are going to maximize our resources by curbing corruption and using these monies to invest in our youth, invest in our agriculture to create the jobs. Last man in Koina watching us. Equal thank yous to everyone who has supported this process. To everyone, those who are here, those that lost their lives in the fight, we remember them. Equal thank yous to each and every one. Equal thank yous to each and every Gambian. We appreciate your support and we promise we are going to deliver. Thank you.
Over the next few months, we will be going around the country to say this is what you have asked us and this is what we have committed to. From the end of 2021.
We have seen that it contains health, education, and also youth general. Is it that when we have a UDP government, will the UDP government be able to address all these points, considering the type of government they are going to inherit if they win?
This is the reason why we decided that we were only going to focus on the fight for the first 5 years. So we are going to do more of our energy, we are going to invest more in those areas to build the human capital first. And then after that, then we will now go, we will still continue to work on the defense sector. So it is not practical, given that when we go in, we have to conclude the Constitutional Review Commission. We want to bring the new constitution back to life. We want to do the security sector reform because we haven't seen information on that. We want to commit to civil service reforms because we have not seen that happen. We will also work on implementing the TRRC recommendations, and we also want to, make sure that the Jammeh Commission and the Land Commission and all of that are just floating, that we will be able to now implement. So realizing that there are a lot of recommendations that have come out of all these commissions and they have not been implemented, we want to focus on the 5-point agenda, focus on the transition going in. One of the first things we want to do is to review the civil service. We want to do a reform on the civil service so that we have, ethical servants that can work and report to Gambians.
We have 100 days to go. What will be your advice for the Gambians?
We don't have a boss or a bus driver. What we have is an airplane and a captain, and we are taking off. So to Gambians, we appeal to you, come and let's work together. This is a party of a mixed bag of different people, so we all complement each other and our strengths. Come and join us so that we can go forward. This country is not UDP's country, it's not NPP's country, it's not APRC or DOI. This country belongs to Gambians, and we are going to make sure that we will give back Gambians their country. We are going to serve them as ethical servants, and we call upon all of them for them to come and hold us accountable, keep us on our feet, and make sure that we say what we mean and mean what we say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.